Welcome to the Be Forever Cool podcast. My name is Rex45. We got MotoGP to talk about. We got MotoAmerica to talk about. We got World Superbike to talk about. And this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about motorcycle safety. So definitely keep it locked to hear how you can stay safe on two wheels. If you're a beginner rider, intermediate rider, or a seasoned rider, track rider, all that fun stuff. So definitely keep it locked on this show. And we will definitely keep that. We'll get you going. I want to thank all the subscribers. I definitely want to shout out Sean. He's a new member of the Patreon. Definitely. We appreciate you, man. Much love. We know you're up in New Hampshire. We know you're racing that loud, and we see what you're doing. Much appreciation on that membership. We got some cool things coming for you. And anyone that's interested, definitely sign up on the website, beforevercool.com. You can become a subscriber and get some cool things for you. We have some discount codes that we are giving to the public, which is Woodcraft. So definitely use Rexy, shop at Woodcraft. And for the folks that already been using it, much appreciation. For you folks that haven't, and you're shopping at Woodcraft, definitely plug in that Rexy code. If you are looking for Pirelli tires, and definitely reach out to Mark 10 Motorsports and get some Pirelli tires. Mention Be Forever Cool, and you get a 10% discount. If you're a subscriber, we got a lot more discounts for you on the subscribers side. We got some cool things. Check out the website and see what those options are. And we got some more cool things coming down the pipeline. I can't even wait to talk about it for those track day folks, and also for folks that like to keep their bikes nice and clean. And with that, let's get into the show. We got lots to talk about tonight because a lot of craziness has happened. So let's bring TJ into the building. First of all, TJ, did you go down to the Celtics headquarters and tell them they are full of it? Because now Mr. James is a Sixer. What's going on, man?
I mean, I just let them build how they want. I still don't think that's they're gonna win a championship. But yeah, there's something's up their sleeve. Boston gonna have to do something. Trade in our top talent to a rival team. But my mind has been focused on racing pretty much. So once it gets to October, we'll see how things play out.
Listen, man, I don't like that answer. That's a cop out, man. And you want to flip some tables over. I mean, tell the truth.
Yeah, man. Like, no one understands the decision. Like getting rid of your top talent, and for LeBron going to Philly. I mean, he's conserving his years. He's trying to play till maybe he's 45 or something like that. But I don't know. I think they got too much over there, where too many hands on the ball is needed. So I don't know how it's going to work there, but we'll see. They need a good coach to hold them down.
Is this a low-key statement for LeBron? Because I think that, Jaylen Brown's got so much flack for being so smart. He's like, I'm going to go play where the smart guys are. Or is that just me?
I mean, LeBron's smart, so he knows where to try to find his, championship run. So, he goes where people understand. And, Jaylen Brown is smart. I know Jaylen Brown probably wants to be the number one option. But now LeBron's kind of interfering in that, so I don't know how that's going to work. But yeah, I think LeBron runs where the talent is also.
All right, no doubt. All right, Reese, man. I mean, I mailed my application off the other day, so I'm might be official Philly fan. I might have to get a cheesesteak, right? Because we don't say steak and cheese in Philly, we say cheesesteak, right?
Right.
You saw that? Isn't that crazy for you guys to get LeBron?
I'm not a Philly. I mean, I'm not a Sixers fan. I mean, I was always a Warriors fan. So, but it is crazy that they take him, trying to still figure out why. I have no idea what they're trying to plan down there, but I don't think they're going to win a championship with that.
Really?
Mm-mm. I think you need a little bit more pieces.
I mean, the Knicks won what they had. Come on.
Knicks have actual players. You got Embiid that plays like a girl and whines. So, and it stays hurt 60% of the time.
Right. So let me get this right. You're a football Philly fan, but not a basketball fan.
Oh, football all day. Football all day. Eagles.
Philly's weird. I might have to recall my application. This is.
I never was a Sixers fan. I mean, the only time I really liked the Sixers is pretty much was Iverson was there.
Dr. J, Iverson, you know what I'm saying? Charles Bark. I'm trying to sell you on the sell on
Nah,
the wrong.
Even back then, I was a Jordan fan. Then I was a Bulls fan. All then.
All right. Well, let me ask this: are you ready for this weekend?
No. No, I was on summer break, summer vacation. You talking about going back? I'm like, yeah. All right, yeah, let's go.
I mean, that's fair answer. You know, I'm not ready either, but we're gonna show up and we're gonna try to make the best of it. We definitely got the live coming up this Saturday at 8:30 or 8:00. Actually, it's gonna start on Central Time. So definitely about that. Let me see if I can get somehow, some way. I missed. Where is Lewis? We'll make it work.
Lewis disappeared.
Right? Oh, he did disappear. What's up with that? I have no idea what's going on. Lewis, man, welcome to the show. You know, you're a Knicks guy. I don't even know what football team you follow. And, you know, apparently it's not a smart reason why LeBron went to Philly. We have no idea. What's good, man? How you doing?
Good, man. I'm doing well. Home for a couple of days this past, I don't know, man. It feels like it's been like 4 months. It's been kind of a blur. Every week, every weekend, traveling, doing events. It's been pretty hectic. This weekend, I'm out again. I come home. I'm home for 3 days. I hit the road. I go out again for another big event. I come home from that event. On the way home from that event, I have to stop at, I think I have to stop at VIR for MotoAmerica. Finish that event, get home for a few days, then travel back to Italy for another big event, then come home again. And it's just like, this is it, man. This is the grind of this industry is pretty hectic when you kind of set a lot of things up together. But and I enjoy my time being home with my dogs, with my family.
No, I feel you there, man. I was in Boston last weekend and I fly out in 2 days. It's definitely been a grind. You know, as I was talking to you guys before the show started, asking Reese, does he walk into things? Because I do. Because I'm like, where am I at? You know, one of the weirdest thing you must go through this is to remember your hotel room. When you change hotel rooms, you know, back to back days, you can figure out a hotel room real quick.
Oh, no, I've more than a few times I've actually forgotten the room that I'm in, and I have the key, but I don't know the room because I don't have the little paper they put the key in, and I'm just like, I think was it 404 or 30? Like I've actually had those things happen, and for me more than anything, when I travel to places that I haven't been to before. I have this thing where I only rent a room for one night, the first night I'm there, in case the hotel completely sucks. Mm-hmm. And if I like it, then I'll extend my stay. It's just something that I've learned throughout the years of traveling. The last thing you want to do is book 5 nights at a really crappy hotel and not realize how crappy it is till you get there.
Yeah.
So this last trip to California, I had to stay in a couple of areas that I've never stayed in before. And literally every day I was checking out and checking into another hotel because every hotel was equally bad, if not worse than the previous hotel. I mean, at some point I was just like, I'm just going to have bed bugs. Like, I'm just going to have bed bugs. Like, it was that bad, man.
It's not the kind of thing you want to lean into. I definitely try to keep a standard, but sometimes it is just, whether it's last minute booking or whatever the case may be, you find yourself in a hotel that you just kind of like, you want to touch as little as possible.
Yeah, no, I mean, you literally, you want to walk in with like rubber gloves and like keep all your stuff in bags. And like, I don't take any of my clothes out of my suitcase. I keep my suitcase. And even when the clothes is dirty, I put it in a separate compartment in my suitcase where you put dirty clothes. Cause I don't even want to put the dirty clothes in the room because it's so dirty.
Yeah. No, it's
not bad.
It's bad. Don't read the reviews.
No, but you do sometimes. I don't know, man. Maybe the people that work in the hotel put up their own reviews and make it like a 3 or 4 star hotel. Because when you get there, it's like, this is not even a 1-star hotel.
Nope. Yeah, just like it's. I gotta keep my slippers on in the shower.
Oh no.
That's how you know it's bad. I am trying to get these things.
I gotta do that at a hotel. I can't be there.
Right, I'm out. I'm gonna go sleep in my car.
The worst ones, to be honest with you, I think the worst events that I've gone to for hotels, Daytona's definitely up there. Like the selection in Daytona for hotels is pretty weak.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the hotels are nice, but the majority of the hotels are older hotels. So even if they have like a good rating, it's only because all the other hotels are such a bad rating. And there's a lot of like inns and motels in Daytona. So if you don't book early, like you get screwed. You either end up paying overpriced fees to go to Daytona for Bike Week, or you end up in like some real dive of a hotel.
Right. Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. But let's get this thing rocking, man. We got Mid Ohio this weekend coming up. But before we dive into it, guys, I want you to think about this question. What is the most important thing for safety for you on a motorcycle? And we'll talk about it a little bit later in the show. Again, what is the most important thing for you guys for safety when it comes to motorcycle riding and racing? But, we got Mid Ohio this weekend coming up. Let's talk about the super sport class. Darren Bender got 223 points. We got Herron behind him. We got Kayla behind him. We got Tyler Scott and Blake Davis, Josh Hayes. What has to happen this weekend? We got 3 more rounds after this weekend. Does Herron have to get the wins? I think Kayla has to get some wins if she wants to fight. I think Bender, if he doesn't, he's not going to always crash out like the second race of the last round. We start with TJ, man. Who needs to shine this weekend at Mid Ohio in the super sport class?
Well, going into this season, Josh Herron was pretty much, we were saying that it's his championship to lose. So he's going to have to go into this weekend, with a clean slate, try to, get a podium for all the races that he, attends. So I think Josh has to show up, trying to get a win. Darren Bender is obviously, them two together are fighting, and it's going to be between them two to the end. So Kayla, she's been doing really well getting the poles and staying up front. And it's also good to have these riders, to contend with the top two up there. So, she's got to show up, I think, where she's positioned. She kind of has a chance in the championship, but not really at this point. So when that pressure is kind of off of you, I think you can ride a little better. So hopefully she can, relax a little more and, stay consistent and be on the podium as well. But I think Josh is the one that's going to have to show up this weekend.
Gotcha. No, I agree. I think he definitely does have to show up. I think Kayla, I think they all have to at the end of the day. But I think that the guys at the lower part of the points have the most to lose if they don't show up. What are your thoughts, Reese, on this weekend? You heard what TJ had to say. How do you line up? I think Scott has to definitely start winning some races if he's going to try to win a championship this year. You're on mute, my brother.
Scott, I got you. Scott definitely has to win some races. There's no question about that one. He has to. Herron has to stay in front of Bender to even chip into the points. You can't let Bender be out front of you. For you to have a chance at the championship, and Kayla definitely need to start winning to at least start fighting for somewhat of a position. Was she sitting third or fourth?
She's third right now, 42
she's
points.
Third. Yeah, so she's got to start winning. She's got to start. It's time to step up. The summer break is over. It's actually time to start, turn up the heat and start winning, So we'll see. Bender's looking real good. If he stays out front, it's his championship.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think if he finishes, 1-2, I think it's his to steal from Herring because at the beginning of the season we were definitely saying it was Herring's to lose. Granted, Herring is only 9 points down. Kayla's a little bit further. You got Scott, who's 2 points behind Kayla and a little bit down from those guys. Lewis, what are your thoughts on what needs to happen in the Super Sport class for these riders? I know Blake Davis is your boy. But he's down well over 100 points.
Oh yeah, no, Blake Davis, Josh Hayes, anybody that's on a Yamaha understands the position that they're in, and I think the two possibly the two best riders that are on Yamaha are doing what they can with the equipment they have and with the restrictions that were put in place this year, and this is the best that Yamaha can do. Unfortunately, other riders that are incredibly fast have jumped on the Yamaha and have had nothing but struggles this year because the concessions that they had last year are no longer there, or the last couple of years are no longer there. And it's just not a level playing field for them. You see who's out front, the Ducatis is Ducati. There's a reason for that. Ducati's invested heavily in creating what can be right now the best sport bike that's on the market. Yamaha doesn't have the R6 anymore, so they're not super competitive. The R9 is showing that it has some big weaknesses that the R6 didn't have. And the Suzuki, I mean, it's doing well considering how old the power plant is. It's still a powerful motor. It's a chassis that has a lot of years under it. Tyler Scott definitely needs to get on the game here. He's got to stop chucking the bike into the woods and doing I don't I don't want to say dumb things, but not ill-advised things. That's a good way to put it. Ill-advised things. Because he's been in this class for a long time, and I know he eventually wants to go to Superbike, but you're not going to get a Superbike ride unless you make good decisions. You can do not great results and get a Superbike ride, but if you don't do not great results and bad decisions, you're not going to get a Superbike ride, man. And realistically, I think he should be third in this championship, possibly even closer to second. But you look at the inconsistency that he had this year, the crashes, races where he was in it and he just kind of chucked it away or made a poor choice and ran off track. And just sometimes I feel he is kind of his worst enemy. He gets in his head and just doesn't ride the ride and let it come to him. He tries to override the bike and do all these extra things because he wants to show that he's competitive, and people know he's competitive. Sometimes to be competitive, you have to understand, look, man, fourth is the best I can do today. Let me ride for fourth, because if I finish eighth when I could have finished fourth, the team recognizes that. The team's like, you could have finished fourth. What happened? Oh, you ran off the track because you were trying to get to third. But in this class, I mean, Josh and Darren are not far apart. I mean, 9 points is nothing. That's literally 2 races. So he finishes twice in front of Darren, and he's up by 1 point. Right. Mid-Ohio's a track that's good for him. I think it's going to come down to a 2-bike shootout. It's going to be Darren and Josh, and maybe somebody else will kind of get in the mix and either help Josh or hurt Josh. Who knows? Depending on how they get in the mix. But this weekend, I think Darren is going to continue his streak of showing up at tracks that he's never been to and just dropping the hammer and showing people that there's levels to this. And he's on a slightly different level than everybody else at this moment.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I see what you're doing, Lewis. I see what you're doing. Let's get to let's get to the Superbike class. We're gonna touch back on the comments of the folks up on IG and what's been happening because Be Forever Cool podcast has been doing some cool things. What do we expect to see, guys, in the Superbike class? I know, Reese, you can only say as much as you can say because you're under contract and all that. So we'll try to pry as much as possible and dangle whatever photos we have of you doing what you shouldn't be doing. TJ, man, Sean Dillon Kelly's out front, 172 points. JD Beats, not too far, 9 points again, similar to Herron and Bender, but 2 different bikes. The BMW is a fast bike. Yamaha handles really well. A lot of Yamahas 2 to 4. What do you expect to see from the Superbike class, and who needs to walk away from this thing in the best position out of the top 5 guys?
That's tough right there. I mean, the top five are all very hungry. Cam Peterson, he thinks he can, have a chance to win. And, the surprise me the most, honestly, is JD Beach. And he's such a fighter. And I mean, I'm rooting for the Yamaha guys. Um, yeah, like I think JD Beach is definitely strong contender. Matthew Skoltz, from hearing how his bike has been running, I'm just hoping that he can have a solid bike going into this weekend, because I know he doesn't want to let the championship slip away after how he started the season.
Mm-hmm.
And it is kind of slipping away a little bit. I mean, he's still very close to contention, but that BMW is surprisingly back on top pretty early in the season. And Sean Dillon Kelly is riding really amazing, actually. And the fight that he's been showing the last couple of rounds, just to put himself on the podium, I think he has a good, strong shot also of fighting for this race coming up.
Right. I think I'll say this: Bobby and Cam, they got to fight because they're out of the top guys. I think not to say Sean can cruise, but these guys they got to win. Reese, man, sure. you got the memo. I'm sure you guys. I know after like 5 seconds, I'm a self-destruct kind of thing. What's the game plan for this weekend? JD's looking really well, so I suspect as long as he can either finish 1-2, you guys will be happy. But what's the game plan for Bobby?
Game plan is always the same thing. Going here with a positive mindset. Hopefully we can say, turn things around a little bit. I mean, if we did that crew over there on the 50 side did find some stuff going here into Laguna. I know my guys over here on the 95 side. We was just hoping that JD stays on the roll. I mean, he's probably going to stay on the roll. I mean, he's coming in positive. Last time I saw the group message. And with Bobby, he's definitely hungry. He's definitely ready to go. I mean, if they can keep that same momentum coming in from Laguna, I think we have a 1-2 shot. I mean, this track, as Lewis knows, it does favor more the Yamaha. The BMWs and Ducati don't have the legs, don't have the area to stretch their legs, I should say, right, on this track. They don't have it. So it's more of a tight technical track. And hopefully it stays dry because everybody knows it's not that great in the wet. But hopefully we can, push forward here and maybe have some different say-so coming out of here this weekend.
All right, man. I saw what you did there, man. I guess you're on the winning side of things. You wanted to point that out to people that you're on the 9-5. Lewis, you hear what these guys are saying. What do you expect to see? What's going to happen? And we didn't even talk about weather.
I mean, I hate to talk about weather, but this weekend does look a little bit sketchy as of right now for Saturday and Sunday. We could have spots of rain, 50-50. We know what can happen. I know that the attack bikes tend to have really good wet weather grip. I know the track Mid-Ohio doesn't have great wet weather grip. So this is you've got a great bike, but not a great track. I think the attack Yamaha team is going to do very well here this weekend. I don't know if it's going to be 1-2 or 1-3, but I think both riders are going to have a great chance to be on the podium. They came out of Laguna Seca with a lot of good data. On Sunday, Bobby had a better race than he had on Saturday. They found some issues that he had on Friday that kind of carried over to Saturday. They were able to sort through them. And on Sunday, all of a sudden, he was, during the race, he was dropping lap times that would have put him in first place. Unfortunately, they didn't come to him until, 8 laps into the race. And by then, the front guys had kind of stretched him enough where he couldn't get into the top 3, but he was, had it been a couple more laps, I think he would have done it. So I think he goes into this weekend with a lot of confidence. JD has a lot of confidence. I think the attack Yamaha team as a group has the best momentum right now. As far as everybody else, I mean, SDK is going to do what SDK does. He's going to get the best out of what he can do. I know the Orange Cat guys are going to do what they can to get him a bike that he can put on the box. And I think Cam Peterson is still the number one Ducati. He's the guy riding the older Ducati, but at this point, the better Ducati. And so the top 5 are going to be the top 5, man. I see the same 5 guys. And as far as JD Beach, I mean, I want you to say it right now, Rexy. Rexy, you and I were watching that race together. Rexy, what did I say was going to happen in the race to JD Beach? I turned to you and I said something, and a lap later, what I said came to fruition.
He's going to
chuck that. He's going to chuck that shit into the woods.
JD or
PJ.
Oh, PJ. Yes.
Oh, I was saying, like, wait, what?
PJ.
Yeah,
we were in the media center and we're watching PJ, and I turned to Rexy. I said, "Yo, man, he's gonna chuck that shit into the woods." Hey, whoa! Yeah. No, I'm like, he's overriding the bike. You can see he's overriding the bike. He's pushing the bike. The bike doesn't want to go. He should settle for that place. And before I finished that sentence, I saw a yellow bike flying through the woods.
Yeah. No, you definitely did call that one. And that's I mean, you know, I gotta assume it's the data, the lack of data. And, you know, as a rider, you're trying to figure it out in real time. But you know, and maybe it is the tires, like I think you'd mentioned, Lewis, a couple of episodes ago, where, you know, Ducati V4 is built on the Pirelli tire, not built on the Dunlop. And so, you know, he's having a tough time with it, but it's tough to see because, you know, to look at where Ducati was last year in MotoAmerica and where they are this year, it's you know, they were fighting for the championship last year.
They were fighting for the championship on the bike that Cam Peterson is on,
right?
Which he has data on, and he's making the bike go well, considering, you know, he bought last year's Warhorse bike, and now they have it over at
Wrench.
At Wrench. But it's last year's bike. They have all the data. They have all the information they need to understand how to make the bike go fast. But I think the other thing on PJ's point is I think also he might be starting to feel that little bit of pressure where you're not performing very well. There's no guarantee you're going to have that spot next year.
Right.
And, you know, there's a guy that racing for us in Supersport that's second in the championship who's actually a Superbike champion who's biting at the bit at the opportunity to, like, take your seat, man. Don't think for 1 second that guy that's in that Supersport bike is not eyeing your bike up. Like, he wants a Superbike ride, and he sees one that's slowly becoming available every time you chuck that bike into the woods.
Right. Yeah, no, it's going to be pretty wild to see. Hopefully, you know, I'm a huge Ducati fan, so hopefully they turn it around. But we'll be live and direct. Speaking of the Be Forever Cool podcast, we'll be live and direct this Saturday Central Time. We'll start 8:00. The broadcast itself would start at 8:30, but we got some music for you in the beginning while we get things going. So we got a DJ for you, so it should be a good time. You know, I think we're going to try to sneak Reese away. We might even have a couple of riders come in and say what's up. You know, Lewis has been banned from
banned.
He's been banned from media.
I got a one event ban.
He's been banned from media, dude.
Didn't take long.
We'll get him on screen. He might be behind bars, but we'll have him remote, chopping it up with us. Might be an undisclosed location because the comments are getting crazy. And before we jump into MotoGP, I know Lewis wanted to get some things off his chest. Maybe Reese, maybe TJ, with some commenting on IG. First and foremost, we definitely appreciate it. We're glad that we're giving you dialogue that you can talk about and want to talk about and all that stuff because, you know, you're taking the time out to comment. So we do appreciate it. But with that, Lewis, the floor is yours.
So we had a comment on one of the shows last week where someone who I do appreciate the feedback that he brings to the show. I watched the Wednesday edition of the show, and I enjoy the feedback that comes out of that. But they made one specific comment, and I couldn't let it go. I jumped into the IG and had some fun banter with him about the next move for Kayla Yakov is to go to Moto2. And it caught a lot of steam to the point where even Scott Redding commented on it. And he was like, let her be where she is, you know, which is true. Like, she has an opportunity here in the US to have great success. Ducati sees what they have in their hands. You know, as a person that is very involved in marketing, when you have someone like a Kayla Yakov and she's very successful and she keeps growing in popularity, the last thing you want to do is you don't want to lose her as an asset. So Ducati doesn't want to lose her as an asset. And realistically, like, she has a big opportunity here in the US. She can go from super sport, possibly win a super sport title, or at least be competitive in the top 3 for the next couple of years. And her path leads her on a path that if she could be successful in super sport, she can see herself in superbike here in the US at some point. And if she can blaze a trail there and be there even for 5 years in superbike or 6 years in superbike, that's a full career for a motorcycle racer. And to say that we want to see her Moto2. Now, this is the thing. I want to see an American in Moto3, Moto2, right. MotoGP. Absolutely, I do.
As a fan, right?
As a fan, I want to see an American there. We have an American there now, Joe Roberts. Joe Roberts is an incredible talent. He's been there, I think we said it before the show, 10 years now? Almost 10 years?
Almost 10 years, yeah.
In 10 years, Joe Roberts has been at the top of the podium 3 times. 10 years. And this dude is a talented rider. This is the level of Moto2. If you were to take Kayla out of the US and throw her into Moto2, she is going to get stomped. I hate to say it, but that's the fact. We've sent Josh Herrin. We've sent Cameron Beaubier. We've sent Sean Dillon Kelly. And they have all gotten stomped. The only one that's seen the top step of the podium has been Joe Roberts, and he's done it 3 times in almost 10 years. You're going to tell me that you're going to take Kayla Yakov at her age, put her in Moto2 against absolute killers. You think Aaron Canet's going to show her any grace? You think any of these other guys in the top 15 in Moto2 are going to show her any grace? She's going to be relegated to the middle or the back of the teens, depending on how many people actually finish the races. She's not going to advance because the bike is completely different than what she's used to riding here in the US, because it's an absolute race bike. You have to be able to speak technical terms to your mechanics to make that bike go. And you have to have a certain acclimate to make that bike go.
All right.
Anybody that wants to put her in Moto2 that's a detriment to her career. And I'll say this, Josh Herrin. Josh Herrin went to Moto2. He had a Moto2 contract while he was racing Superbike here. He won the championship in Superbike, not because he was the better rider, because he had the more consistent year, because Josh Hayes was his teammate that year, and Josh Hayes was destroying him. When the bike finished, when the bike didn't blow up, when the bike didn't lose a chain, because these are all things that happened to Josh Hayes that year. 2 chains went flying that year and caused Josh Hayes to not finish. With all that, Josh Hayes still almost won the championship. Herrin won it, went to Moto2, had 4 races and got fired because he couldn't finish races. You know who his teammate was? A complete nobody called Johan Zarco, that on the same bike that Josh Herrin had, almost won the championship that year. This is the levels to things. Josh Herrin came back, ended up in super sport, begging for a ride, and had to rebuild his career. Why would you say you want to take Kayla Yakov out of the US, where she has an up-and-coming career, and completely derail it by putting her in Moto2?
All right. Well, I mean, I'll say this. One, we don't know what would, it's up to the rider. It's up to the rider.
We've seen Moto2. You're going to tell me in Moto2?
Under the right circumstance, right? And who's
our best rider in the US right now? Sean Dillon Kelly.
As you've pointed out, on the right team, right? On the right team, she could.
On the right team. Yep.
And the level of competition in Moto2 is very fierce. I mean, top 20 guys is less than a second and a half, right? So it's not, none of these guys are slow by any stretch of imagination, right? But as a competitor, you want to kind of fit in. I get what you're saying with the chassis. This is the biggest thing for U.S. riders, not just Kayla, not just anyone. That's what MotoAmerica and folks
chassis,
are trying.
Chassis, tires, tracks, getting used to the European lifestyle, moving away from your family, moving away from everything completely different training regimen, starting from scratch. So it's not just on the track. It's everything around the track. You got to lift your whole life and put it in Europe if you want to be competitive, and you have to stay there all year round.
But you never know. And Harry, I'm sure Harry will definitely comment. I was trying to get him on to see you.
But right now, who's the number one guy in Superbike right now? SDK. Sean Dillon Kelly.
Oh, sorry.
What did Sean Dillon Kelly do in Moto 2 when he was there? So the guy that's leading the Superbike championship now, when he was in Moto 2, couldn't sniff the top 10 on a regular basis.
Yeah, but that's a different situation with him. I mean, it was more team and then it was skill set. I don't think Sean Dillon Kelly didn't do well because of his skill set. I think if he was on a different team, he would have had a different experience. I feel. Just watching him the rounds that he did race, I think it was more button heads and that kind of thing than his skill set. But I could be wrong.
Cameron Beaubier.
Well, that's another story.
Absolute hands down best rider in the U.S. Cameron Beaubier. That's without a doubt. He's the hands down best rider in the U.S.
And I'm not defending it, but it sounds like he wanted to be home with his family.
Okay, but before that, what did he do in Moto 2?
He was nice until he crashed out. When he wasn't crashing out, he was nice. He got pole position at Austin and crashed out, and I think he was top 3 another round and crashed out, but he was nice.
You're literally proving my point.
Yeah, man.
No, I think Sean Dillon Kelly, management reasons why he left, not skill set. And I think in Beaubier's case, same thing. I don't think it was a skill set with him. I think he just didn't. I don't think it was a skill set thing. I just think it was in a different phase in his life and didn't want to and came back. And it could have been in management too. Who knows? Maybe he's keeping that close to vest. With Sean Dillon Kelly, but I don't think it was. These guys ain't quick enough to deal with the Europeans.
So if these two guys couldn't get on a team that had a bike competitive enough, if Kayla went on the same path, you think they're going to give her a bike that's any more competitive than these three guys that are more accomplished?
Roberts was able to leave and go on the Italian team and had a couple of years on that and came back and did better on an American team after that. So you don't know. I mean, these guys left, but I don't think it. Again, we would have to talk to them. But
but again, you want to be relegated to the bottom 15, or you want to be a big fish in a little pond. Like, that's really what it comes down to. If she stays here in the U.S., she can have a full career as a big fish in a little pond. If she goes over there, she's going to be a little fish in a big pond, and she's going to be forgotten. She has the opportunity here to do something amazing.
Right. And that's personal preference, right? I mean, you're absolutely right there. I mean, it's no different than any one of us doing what we're doing. If we want to throw it to the big stage, or that is what it is. But Reese, anything you want to add to or interject or what do you got to say, Reese?
What Lewis is saying is 100% correct. If we throw Caleb over there, that's a death sentence for her. She's nowhere near ready. That is a different ball game. That is a Shark Tank. They ride completely aggressive over there. If you watch their elbows, their body language, everything that they're doing, we don't ride like that. She's not ready to go there. If she goes, she's going to be forgotten. It's going to be hard for her to get back. It's just a lot to go in it. If she stays here, she has a better career, better chance of winning the championship, can hone her skills, well promoted, well everything. So her best option is to say, everybody wants an American. We all want an American to Moto 2, Moto 3, MotoGP. We all want it, right? But at the end of the day, if the kid is not ready, everyone thinks just because you win a championship, oh, this kid is ready. No, they're not. They're not ready for it. They're not aggressive. They're not this. They're not certain things. Their mindset. When Sean Dillon Kelly went over there to Moto 2, his daddy got him over there. A lot of guys don't know that. His daddy got him over there. He was nowhere near ready to go there. Cam went over there. He was a little bit ready. But as you can see, he got swallowed up. It wasn't the team was still new. Yes, they were still trying to figure out their way. maybe if he was over there now, it'd be a little better shot. But at the end of the day, then you're still being away from your family all year long. And that takes a toll on it. You have to have that kind of mindset. Cam wanted to come home. He wanted to be around his family. I remember Cam reached out to me after the season, like, yo, Mo, you coming over for time? I was supposed to go over just to hang out with him. But that takes a toll on you as a rider. You don't have your family camaraderie. You don't have that family backing. You're over there by yourself. You don't know nothing. You don't know nobody. That takes a toll. Heron went over there on a flimsy contract. He was told not to go. They told him not to go. What Lewis said, it was right. He got fired. He couldn't finish a race. Every time you turn around, everybody's like, just finish your race. Just finish your race. He couldn't finish. From tires to chassis to everything else, it was just, he couldn't get it. So for us to, throw somebody over right now, it's a death sentence for these kids.
Okay.
They need to we can't do it. Just can't do it, man. It's 100% death sentence.
TJ?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with Reese and Lewis on that. I mean, she has shown a lot of improvement going into the season compared to where she started. But yeah, I don't think she's ready yet. And for all the examples that you guys gave, like the clear analysis right there, that if you put her over there, she's gonna have to find a way. She'll be throwing in a tank full of sharks, and you make one mistake, and then you're playing catch up for the rest of the year, and that's no fun. And it's just the other way around. Like, let's just thinking when these top riders over there have come to our pond, Lawrence Baz, Tony Elias, Daniel Petrucci, even now Darren Bender, and, just to name a few, they've all fit in very well, always top five, they fit in very well. So it's easy on their end to come over here, but we're still trying to find our way to have a rider strong enough to contend over there. And it's just, for Kayla to go to Moto2 this soon, I don't think she's ready yet either.
Okay. All right. Well,
I think what we should do is we should support the guys that are already there and trying to fight their way into Moto2. We got this kid, right. Rossi Moore. Rossi Moore's been out there. He came back to the U.S. for a short time. He's back out there again. He's racing in the European Championship on a Moto2 bike. And, he's finishing P9, P10, P11. Like, this kid is putting in the work on the bike that will get him to Moto2. And this is the kid that we should be supporting. Like, this kid's in Europe. He's moved his whole life to Europe. He lives out there 11 months out of the year, 12 months out of the year, trains out there. His family's out there, and he's putting in the work now. Why don't we show that kind of love to somebody that's 100% dedicated to that? Instead, we're talking about let's graduate Kayla. No, man, we've got an American out there, man. Let's support the American that's out there right now, grinding, putting in the work, like racing with these guys on equal terms, on equal bikes, and finishing in the top 12 on a regular basis.
Well, I mean, Ducati got to invite him over to ride the GP bike and the World Superbike. And, but if Kayla wasn't on those bikes, we wouldn't be talking about Rossi Moore right now. So we are talking about him. And we can follow. I followed his name in Moto 3 for sure. And, it's good to hear that he's in Moto 2. And you're absolutely right. For the folks that are in the series or in Europe, we should definitely follow them and support them. But I think they're two separate things, though.
No, for sure. But I think, again, as a marketing person, I understand what Ducati has, and Ducati doing what they're doing right now with her. You can't hate on them. That's exactly what you should be doing. You have a gem. You have something really special in your hands. You have the opportunity to nurture this thing and give her a platform and put her in a position to make her incredibly popular. And you have a bike that she's on now. You have another bike that she can go to. Like, you have a path with her that I think she could definitely follow. She could end up in Superbike without a doubt. So, this is if I'm working at Ducati, this is my mindset is let's keep her on the Ducati as long as we can possibly keep her on a Ducati because this is gold.
I agree.
We landed in gold. We have a popularity, we have a face that we can capitalize on for 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 years. So why not do it? Why lose her to Moto2?
Yeah. Well, I feel the same way, and Black Knight is not going to be with Ducati next year. What do I know?
Well, you know how loyal they are.
Speaking of MotoGP, guys, since that is the road that every rider wants to get to. That's the path.
I never wanted to get there.
Oh, come on, man! You already did. Stop. That's why you can
You're on a Moto2, huh?
I was good with Moto2.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, we're 125.
You're good with your tricycles for sure. Quartararo, it's been announced that this guy's with Honda now. No secret. Not much I think should change for Quartararo next season. We'll go around the horn and talk about it. I know the elephant in the room is the 850cc, so we can all speculate on what's going to happen. But track record has shown that the Italians got things figured out and the Japanese do not at the moment, or they're still working on it. Is this a good look for Quartararo? Should it have been Aprilia? Should have been, I can't even say KTM because we'll talk about that in Maverick in a second. What are your thoughts, TJ?
I think Quartararo should have possibly left Yamaha a few years ago, and he decided to continue his journey because he was promised, a lot of things of improvement. It didn't happen. So for him moving on to Honda, I think for his riding ability, I think it's a good move. Hopefully they can figure something out. Honda is pretty good with figuring out throughout the course of the season.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad move, but I think it's better than what the situation he's in now. So I think it'll turn out to be, a good move in the long run for sure. I think Honda would definitely, be one of the top contenders going forward. We're just hearing rumors right now, so, we'll see when the 850cc's come out. I know Fabio is a champion, so he knows how to stay up front. He can.
All right. No doubt. Reese, did you guys have a moment of silence over there after Quartararo left? He is the last Honda Yamaha champion.
No. No. Riders are riders. They come, they go, but, I wish the best of luck for him. I do. I also, at this point, hope that he does good because you're, like you said, you're going to an 850cc. So if it doesn't pan out for him, then what are you going to say?
I don't know.
Exactly. What can you say? If it doesn't pan out, then you kind of look kind of silly.
Kind of silly. Lewis, man, I see you. Did I get that right? Yeah, there we go.
We got graphics on the show now.
Right?
Oh, God.
Go ahead.
No. I was just saying, I don't know. 850cc is a whole new era, man. Like, Lewis can comment, TJ, but I think at this time, coming from where I know, everybody's gonna, counting the Japs out. I don't know yet, man. We'll see once it gets here. Rumors is rumors, and I've heard rumors for the past 13 years in the paddock, and some rumors tend to be true. Some rumors tend to be just that, a rumor.
Rumors them spread in. Lewis, we got the chart up. What are your thoughts, man? Quartararo. It sounds, I think Reese graduated from, the numbers guy 101 with that. He's quickly moved on from Quartararo. He's learning Japanese now to deal with Agora.
Yeah, no, he's like that Kanye song. He got on and he forgot her. On to the next one.
I'm like Janet Jackson, man. What have you done for me lately?
Leave your ass for a white chick.
Right. It might be control.
I mean, right now, just looking at this grid, there's a lot of spots that are rumored to already be filled. We're just waiting for the official announcements. So a lot of these, blacked out heads here, they actually already have seats. We're just waiting for the official announcement. But if you told me with everything that's happening next year, new tires, less aero, ride height device elimination, all these other things that are slowly happening and taking place, new engine configurations, I believe it's wide open, but it's not as wide open as many people think because I don't think there's going to be a giant regression. I think the guys at the top are still going to be the guys at the top. The guys at the bottom are probably going to get a little bit of a leg up because there's going to be a little bit of a level playing field since everybody's moving to a new engine configuration.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that Aprilia is going to fall off the cliff. I don't think Ducati is going to fall off the cliff. I don't think Yamaha is going to take a massive leap forward. If we look at where we're at right now, KTM has one rider that's consistently good, and that rider goes to Ducati. He's not going to forget how to ride a bike when he goes to Ducati. Ducati has, another rider that seems to be consistently good for the past decade and a half, Marc Marquez. I don't think he's going to forget how to ride a bike.
Mm-hmm.
I think Yamaha has an opportunity to maybe get a leg up because now the horsepower war has kind of changed. We're looking at a 850cc bike versus a 1000cc bike, so maybe their horsepower woes won't be as significant. But between the Japanese, I think Honda has been the more consistent in making a better chassis and moving forward over the last couple of years. Will that chassis work with a 850cc bike? How will it work with a Pirelli tire versus the current tire? Like, there's so many variables for next year. I don't think anybody's really written out except for KTM. I think they suck today, and I think they're going to suck tomorrow. And I think in general, as a team, they suck, and a company, they suck, and they treat people like shit. So, yeah, if they have no success, it wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. It sucks that Alec Marquez and Jan Antonio have to suffer for being on a team that's so inconsistent. It has money woes,
Right.
and and has. If you think Ducati's disloyal, I mean, right now, the back and forth, the Real Housewives of MotoGP drama that's going on in the KTM garage with Vinales and with Tech 3 and with everything else, like, that's crazy, man. Like, that's insane.
That is.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Sound like Vinales is going to be out. It sounds like Brent Bender's going to be out. It sounds like Luca is going to be on Tech 3 because the parent company or the factory is telling Gunta he has to sign Luca. What are your thoughts, TJ, on what's going on? You heard a little bit what Lewis was saying about KTM and how awful they are. But I can understand Bender because he's just been on the factory team for so long, and granted, he got a couple of wins, maybe 3. But I think they were expecting more for him. But he's out. It sounds like Vinales is going to be out. And let's talk about Miller because these are 3 guys that might be out of MotoGP for next season, and Rins, 4 guys.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started getting into MotoGP, that's back when they had Remy Gardner and then I think Miller, and they got rid of them so fast. And I'm just like, why is KTM not trusting their riders, giving them an extra year? And you can see just how sometimes they can just be disloyal. So for Maverick's case, he's has not really showed any results at all. I feel like he's kind of complaining in a way where they're saying that they're forgetting about his, resume and his what he's done over the past years. But KTM's not trying to hear that, and they want results. So I don't know. It's just a little shakeup. I feel like he's definitely on the way out because what can they get out of Merrick at this point anymore? It's just a headache. So I don't know if he's going to be able to get a seat. As far as Jack Miller, I hope he can stay, but also he's one of those guys that's, hard to find another role for another season. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough for those guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. It's a changing of the guards. I feel bad for Ritz and Miller because these guys
Oh, yeah, Rins too.
it was fun to watch them, and it's going to be fun to watch the rest of the season. But I started watching MotoGP around this time. These guys were in Moto two, and and all that, and moving up to MotoGP. What are your thoughts, Reese, man, and what's happening with these four riders? That they may get to World Superbike. Who knows?
I think Jack Miller is supposed to be signing with Yamaha World Superbike, and I think Renz is going to World Superbike. I don't know about Bender and those guys. I don't know what's going to happen to them, but with Bender, I mean, he's just been there too long, man. It's just like where are we at? Like he's had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. He's been there for God knows how long.
Probably got some MotoGP.
Yeah.
16 to 17, somewhere around there.
It's just been there too long, though. It's just like that seat you've been filling that seat, and they just haven't had any success with you. So yeah, it's definitely time to move on from that scenario. The same thing with Renz. I mean, Renz is saying that he didn't really have a chance on the D4 or whatever. But at this point in time, you can watch Renz. He's really never fully healed from that accident. Like you can still see he limps. He has a different walk, and he says certain things hurt. So he's never really fully came back from that horrific accident that he had. So unfortunately, maybe his body, going from a prototype bike going to a production bike, it may be easier for him to maneuver and move around and muscle where he can do that. So maybe it might be time for him to do that. So hopefully that does help with him. And Vinales, that's just like to me that look like a soap opera, man. It's just like a novella over there. He's in, he's out, he's just, all the complaints. I'm just like, it's almost like where it was at when he was with Yamaha. It's almost the same scenario, kind of just him not damaging the bike. So I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's the team, because once again, we've already seen similarities of this scenario back over in Yamaha with him. So,
all right. If I'm looking at this right, it looks like Bender got into MotoGP in 2020. Why did I think he was in there sooner? But in 2019, he was still in Moto 2. So it's only been 6 years. It felt like he's been there like 10 years, like Miller.
10 years. It feels like it's been forever, man. Like it's been there forever.
It's because that hairline, man, that hairline ages you, bro. When he came in, he had a full coif. Now he looks like me.
Yeah. Guys, I mean,
big head. That boy got a big head, boy. God.
Out of these riders, I mean, I don't know if there's 4 seats available in World Superbike for these guys. So maybe there may be some US seats or whatever. You guys are mentioning, it seems like Miller got something, but these other 3 guys, I mean, Bender and Rins especially, nothing yet. And these guys deserve to be on factory seats if they got the World Superbike, but they may have to prove themselves on a satellite team.
No, I think Rins has a great opportunity to go to World Superbike. I think he's still a talented rider, and I think a World Superbike would suit his riding style. He just has to get with the right team. And there are some open seats in World Superbike that are coming up. Miller going to World Superbike makes a ton of sense, especially if he's going with Yamaha, because he's done a lot with Yamaha throughout the years. And he's still ingrained himself very well with the Yamaha team. So putting him on a factory Yamaha World Superbike, I think would be a great opportunity for him. I think Maverick Vinales is done. There's not a ride for him anywhere. I don't think he wants to ride anywhere. And, at the end of the day, as great as a rider he is, as talented as a rider he is, if you look at his career overall, the dude is just been the same pain in the ass everywhere he's gone. And there's something about him. Like, you can't go to this many teams and blame the teams all the time. There's got to be something up with you. Suzuki 2015, 2016. Yeah, Suzuki folded shop, but Suzuki wasn't planning to re-sign him anyway. Yamaha, 2017 to 2021, Yamaha got rid of him because he tried to blow up the bike. He had so many conflicts. He had so many, disagreements and issues with that. Aprilia, he went into Aprilia, and as soon as he went into Aprilia, as soon as they can get rid of him, they got rid of him as well. They didn't even tell him they were getting rid of him.
Yeah, let's be fair. Like the Aprilia situation was more, he left because he didn't like how Aprilia signed Martin, which he should have just kept his mouth shut. But I think Aprilia was his best seat since Suzuki. If we want to be fair, even though he got most of his wins on the Yamaha, but I think the fact that Aprilia jumped and signed Martin
twice in the championship when he was with Yamaha, so he had a lot of success with Yamaha. And to have that much success with Yamaha, and even Yamaha doesn't want to pick you up. Like, you almost won a championship twice on Yamaha, and then you blew the whole Yamaha relationship up just being a hothead.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's tricky. It's tough. And, he's a young guy. And, look, I feel bad for what's the German there that didn't last too long in MotoGP as well.
Oh, yeah.
Johan, not Zarco, Johan Folger or whatever. So it's tough. Maybe these guys will become test riders, and who knows, or they go on to commentating like some of these other riders that we've seen who have retired. But it's tough to see. It was tough to see when Pole left and Elation and all these guys that that they're at the pinnacle of the sport, and it's nice when you can bow out gracefully like a Rossi. But most people are kind of, pushed out with a broom a little bit because they're either too old or not fast enough, or they just got too much attitude.
It's going to be an interesting season. I'm still waiting to see. Like right now, someone was just interviewing one of the Moto2 kids. That nobody's approached about getting a ride in MotoGP, and he doesn't understand, like, how has everybody else been approached to become a rider in MotoGP, and I haven't been approached.
Yeah,
I have like the best results in Moto2 right now.
I'm leading the championship, and my teammates gets a seat in Tech 3. That's some BS. I ain't gonna lie. That's some straight up and down BS.
This brings me back to what I always say. Yes. Nobody deserves anything. You get what you negotiate. If you sit around thinking you deserve something, you're never gonna get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to negotiate for it.
But sometimes you get overlooked, and this is blatant. The trade with Jaylen Brown is blatant, and this is blatant. Right? This is. I mean, we can call a spade or whatever term you want to look, right? And I earned. I mean, this guy. I get the overall marketable part and all that fun stuff, but we all love this thing because we're fast, or your favorite rider is fast. We don't care about if he can sell a car or if he can sell detergent or whatever. We just care that he's fast. And as a fan, when you see a rider that's fast or a player that's good and business, takes them out of reach for us, it's very frustrating.
It is, but you also don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You can be fast and be an asshole that nobody wants to work with. You could be the greatest basketball player, and no team wants to pick you up because as soon as you come to the team, you blow up the team dynamic.
Right.
So we don't necessarily know what is it about Gonzalez that made teams skip over him.
Yeah, that is 100% fact. We don't know what
talent is talent, but what is the thing about him that's making all these teams which have seats available? There's the VR46 has team, Trackhouse has team, Tech 3 has team, LCR has team. All these teams have seats available, and they're all skipping over the guy that's leading the championship right now, Moto2.
Yeah,
there's got to be something to it, bro.
I think it's a bad look, though. I mean, I think it's a bad look for the sport. And you're right. We don't know the back end of it, and maybe they need to let us know a little bit more as a fan. And granted, we don't need to know all your business, but it would be nice to be like, okay, because on face value, we're sitting here saying like, yo, let's do this fast. And we've yet to see anyone in World Superbike say anything negative in the super sport, in the 300 class when he won, in the super sport class where he won, or riding for the last few years on this bike. We've yet to see anything, or he's yet to do anything. I think he got like maybe one penalty since he's been like in Moto 2.
I think you need to get us MotoGP press passes so we can research for ourselves in the paddock and see why everybody's skipping over him.
Well, don't get me started there. I'm gonna have to reach out to Liberty because
Joan Mir got a seat at Grassini, and he's hasn't finished the race in 3 seasons. So he's not overlooked.
Yeah, no, it is a bad look for the sport. I think, you know what I mean, because again, it's like, listen, this guy's leading the championship. Like, give him a seat, and at least you can always boot him out. Like, you boot out Ika, you boot out Remy, you boot out Lowes after 1 year. You know what I'm saying? And these guys, Remy won a world title.
Yeah,
that was unfair what they did to me. I'm still fighting for you, Remy. That was awful what they did to you. But it is business, and
that was shiesty.
As a fan, it is tough to see. You know what I'm saying? And this guy got to continue. Or you as a sports person, you got to go out there and still do the best you can, regardless. Before we get out of here, guys, let's talk about. I brought it up at the beginning of the show and sort of in the middle. Let's talk about safety and what that means for you guys as far as what's the most important things when it comes to motorcycle and safety for you. We'll go around the horn. I'm sure you guys have a list of things and you were eagerly jotting it down while we were chopping it up to make sure you had an answer. There you go. You got Reese, who's Biggie, and Jay-Z just makes it up in his head.
That's it.
TJ, man, what's the most important thing for you, man?
I mean, as we all know, there's a lot of important things to stay up and balanced, but most important thing is definitely gear. Having proper gear makes you feel makes you feel more comfortable and takes one less thing off your mind, even though you can still get hurt. But having the gear for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, we can be specific. It can be. Full gear is the best way to go, but definitely helmet, gloves, boots. You can wear some type of jeans. I hate seeing riders in shorts, like on the street.
God, I hate that.
Yeah.
T-shirt, it's iffy, but like still, like I'd rather see someone in a t-shirt than shorts. But definitely gloves, boots, jeans, and gotta have that full face helmet.
Yeah, I hate the reason it's so hot.
And then ride when the sun go down. There.
Right. Reese, what is it for you, man?
I mean, we all know gear is one of the number one safety things. But for me, I mean, the biggest safety, and I see it all day here in Florida. I see people riding. Please just take the time to not skip or be cheap on your bike maintenance or your bike's protocol.
Yeah.
I see guys want to ride, I've seen guys where the tread is all the way around the tire.
Yeah.
Or the tire is going bald. I'm like, or just chains is loose, slapping like crazy. I've seen it. I'm just like, or stuff is zip tied, duct tape. I mean, certain things you can zip tie, whatever, but take the time out to, especially guys up in the Northeast or the Midwest or anything like that. When the winter hits, take the time to take your bike to, get the proper maintenance done, make sure you look it over, because at the end of the day, that is what brings you home safe.
Yeah.
That is what brings you home safe.
I agree. Maintenance is my thing too. It's the number one thing for me as well. And it's weird to hear people say they've had an issue for multiple months. It's like, wait,
right?
You knew about this issue so long, you still just jumping on it?
I've had this issue for a couple months now, but it's okay. Go get it fixed.
It's like, oh yeah, the battery always dies. Give it a minute. It's like, what? What is it for you, man? What's the most important thing for you for safety? And you're in the business, so
I mean, gear and properly maintaining your bike, gear to protect you, properly maintaining your bike to make sure that it's properly functioning. Those are super important. But right up there with everything else is education, man. We have too many people that buy a bike, are very poorly trained on how to use a bike properly, never really take the time to learn how to use a bike properly, and put themselves in positions that they're not educated in how to handle. Training for me is one of the most important things. I look at everything that I do in my life and everything that I have trained for. And you train to be prepared for when the time comes, you know how to address the situation. If you've never trained on how to emergency brake, brake properly, how to use the bike to its full potential, if you've never trained for it and you go with your bro science or what your boys are telling you, just because you think your boys are good at it doesn't mean your boys are necessarily good at it. Train yourself, understand how to use your bike to the fullest of its potential, and know when to use it to the fullest of its potential. I see a lot of people that are just poorly trained, use their bikes to their fullest potential in conditions where it's not able to be fully used, cutting through traffic and excessive speeds, not knowing how to brake properly, not keeping their eyes up in the distance, not looking ahead to see what's coming, not being very defensive drivers, understanding that, your motorcycle, you're constantly on the offense. You have to be defensive. You have to be looking ahead. You have to almost have a premonition of what other people are going to do and anticipate what they might do, but also anticipate what they won't do and be ready to react when they do something that you didn't anticipate. And again, this all comes down to training. Right. Give yourself the time to do this, and you will enjoy motorcycling, a lot longer. You'll enjoy it because you'll have a longer time on the bike with less injuries. And you'll get a lot more out of the sport when you're properly trained. I mean, I love going to roads I've never been to and riding them as safely as I can, as quickly as I can with the conditions that are in front of me, because I've trained on how to look ahead and anticipate things and not go as fast as I shouldn't go because I don't know these roads, and anticipate things differently. And that all comes from training, man.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. I like the answers, guys, and the main thing is all these things are important: gear, maintenance, and education. I think if you're doing all these three things, the only thing that's missing is a smile on your face.
Or Ducati. Nice game.
Yes, or a Ducati. Everyone should have a Ducati.
Plug for Ducati.
Exactly. Like Oprah. Everybody's getting a Ducati. I know you can't say it on camera, Reese. Just blink 3 times and we know what you mean.
They're holding him back.
R1 all day. Give me my R1.
I would love to get one, except they stopped making them.
No, they're still here. You can still get them here.
Hey, you gotta know.
The day I paid $28,000 for an R1. The day.
I can get a Jixer 1000. The Jixer 1000 still.
All day, Jixer 1000.
It'll blow up after a while.
That's all right. Mine's is 10 years old, still going strong. It never gets ridden, but it's still going strong. It looks great on the kickstand.
So is that R6 you got?
It looks great on the kickstand, still going strong.
Oh man, we got to ride soon, guys. Well, I will see you, Reese, on Friday. Lewis, I'll try to get the ban overturned for you. Do my best at arbitration and get it going. TJ, you got to be protesting out there in Boston because this is very upsetting. You can't have the smartest guy going to Philly. No disrespect to Philly, but there's a reason why he's in Cambridge and Harvard.
Intimidation.
Nah.
Exactly. My name is Rex45. It's the Be Forever Cool podcast. We're going to be live and direct this Saturday at MotoAmerica at the Mid-Ohio round. Reese is going to be in the building. We got some riders coming in the building. We're going to have a good time. You can find out how to watch us by just going to BeForeverCool.com. There's a link set up so you can watch us on Twitch. You can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us on YouTube and Discord as well. So you have no excuses not to see us, and it's going to be a good time. I want to thank TJ with Two Wheels and Coffee. I want to thank Reese for the Taki Yamaha, Louis Ortega, the numbers guy. It's the Be Forever Cool podcast. Peace.
Peace.
Racing's back.